Well, good afternoon. I'm Dr. Travis. Travis for the people. We back with another episode on the day on what's happening in Lincolnville. We know that we haven't been online for a while, but there's a lot been going on, and we was trying to stay up with everything that was going on in America and a lot of stuff that has been happening, especially here in South Carolina, and concern of the redistricting. We are so proud of all of those who went out to the polls on last Tuesday, when the poll was open for early voting on last Tuesday, and we went out there in great numbers. That we ward off the efforts of the Senate from moving Jim Clyburn district out. But we so thankful that those that vote and that those are voting continue to vote, because right now early voting is on. So we need to continue to keep the pressure up and continue to get out there and vote. We can win some districts in South Carolina. We can win some county races in South Carolina if we get out there to vote. The numbers bear the record that there's a lot of us, especially in the African American communities. This state is the largest vote for Black people and brown people. 27% of registered voters in South Carolina is African American Black people. That's power. And if you exercise your right for power to vote, then I'm certainly and surely that the outcome will be much more favored, and we can break up the super majority of going on up there in the South Carolina and Columbia. We need to get some of them Republicans out of there and put some people in there that's willing going to work for the people, whether they are Republican or Democrat or independent. Get those jokers out of there that's not doing by South Carolinians. We need people there to better our economy, better our healthcare system, better our educational system, better our infrastructure issues that we're going on in this state for years and years. They are neglecting the rural county infrastructure, and we can do something about it. So we encourage you to continue to go out to vote. Early voting is still going on in South Carolina. It's going on all the way to June the 5th from 8:30 to 5. From 8:30 to 5, June the 5th. And that's when they're going to close at 5 o'clock on June the 5th for early voting. Then you'll be able to vote in person on June the 9th. June the 9th. That's the primary voting for a Democrat or Republican. One thing about South Carolina, you got to identify what party that you got to vote for in the primary. I may not agree with that, but that's just the way the system is until we change it. But nevertheless, therefore, June the 9th is from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's when in-person voting will begin on that day for the primary. And we will be coming back soon to show course all the Republicans and the Democrats who are running for these positions. And we are going to talk about them. And we need to be very careful of this Republican state here endorsing people who have the same ideology as Trump. And anyone that's supporting Trump should not be holding office in South Carolina, because we see the disaster administration of Trump have done since he been in office, all the discrimination, all the stealing, all the lying, all the cover up, and you certainly don't want to be a part of that. We don't want people leading us in our communities with that type of ideology, that dogma, that foolishness, that 1930 playbook and Jim Crow mess. So we need to get out there and encourage people to vote. And if you don't vote, they can't count your vote. But if you vote, it got to be counted. And move that myth and talking about my vote don't count. Your vote do count. If it didn't count, why are they trying to take away the districts from us? If it didn't count, why are they trying to do voter suppression. If it didn't come, why are they trying to do all this stuff to keep you from going to the poll? That ought to tell you your vote count. And stop that foolishness, stop that ignorance, stop that dumbness. Just get out there and let's go and vote. Now let's get to what we're going to talk about again. This is Travis for the People. Real change, real solution, and real result. We just gonna have to highlight that because we in the season of voting. So today we're gonna talk about what's happening in Lincolnville. We're gonna talk about the 226 to 230 plan sent to the mayor and the council. They have in the last election on November 2025, I think November the 3rd or the 4th, whichever day that was the election on last year. That before that, it was some issues about the concern from the community about the water system, about sidewalks, about the beautification of the town, about very sorts of lot of issue. The water department, why the water department is so non-functional. Actually, why the website until this day has not been updated. They have a web administrator. He hired a web administrator, but the web administrator is not doing their job. He just do that to make y'all feel that he's doing something and he's not. We got to continue to keep the pressure on the mayor and the council because they're really won't do the simplest thing. So we're going to show the plan that we sent to the mayor and the council. Now, for disclaimer only, all they say, well, why you was upset because they didn't utilize your plan, whether they utilize my plan or not. The fool should understand if someone sent you a plan, then you ought to take the plan, read the plan, and see if you can make it your own. That's what's wrong with people today. They're looking at somebody trying to get credit. Nobody ain't got to get credit. If I wanted to hang the town out to dry, if I didn't want to help the town and the town people, not just those in administration, I'm talking about help the people because I'm for the helping the people. Why would I go take my time, research, do a plan, put it together, then and on top of that, send it to you so it would be benefit you. You will get the credit if you do some of the things that was talked about from the public. I didn't put a plan based on what I want to do. I put a plan based on what the public said that needs to be addressed. And if you did not take the initiative and understand and have the wherewithal and have the ability to interpret from whether forget about the messenger, look at the message. And the message is designed to help the town. So that's what I did. And we're gonna go and talk about it because there are a lot of people in the Dickerson camp always saying some stuff. I say some stuff, but they are kind of calmed down lately because I guess someone told them leave Travis for the people alone. I guess so. I don't matter about the criticism. I don't matter about that because you know what? When you're fighting for something, if you really wasn't fighting the truth, if you really wasn't fighting to find the truth, if you wasn't really fighting because you're standing on truth, nobody wouldn't say a doggone thing about you. But because they got a whole lot of ham sandwich to say, so now guess what? They calm down because I don't go back with criticism. I'm not gonna go back on you with mudslinging and calling people you must be the old manipulative teachers leaders in town. The manipulative teacher's teacher. I like that one. And I would say he must be a false prophet. You quoting scriptures and comments and stuff, which we're gonna dive in because I'm gonna have to do a blitz and bring the town of Lincolnville back up to the speed of where we at on what is currently going on. And there's some new stuff that going on behind the scenes that will be revealed. I'm looking for information. I'm gaining information. I'm seeking out information, and we're going to bring it up because there is a cover up that's not being talked about. But we will expose the agenda, and I'm here to say on record today, because of the denying people for your request, the next thing what's going to happen is that we are going to try to get the news media involved to scrutinize all the requests that we are asking for. This is full warning because this is time out from hiding stuff from the people. This is ridiculous. This is something, this is like you doing what Trump doing, covering up. But we're going to see now, we're not going to talk about that today, but we're going to get onto that because it is a shame that people don't want to be transparent, accountable, and responsible. They, again, that TAR principle: transparent, accountable, and responsible. To whom? We should be responsible to the people that we are serving. And we come to find out people get some power, get drunk on that title, get drunk on the position, and get drunk on the authority, and they think they don't have to answer to nobody. So we're gonna move forward with that here. The strategy today, we're going from the mayor, that's the vision, to strategic focus area, primary timeline overview. Again, this is all about what the people have wanted. So I designed this plan to help the mayor, to help the council, and if here's a 4-year plan, not saying in a plan not everything is going to be get finished, and now they're going to say, well that's why we got a comprehensive plan. For we don't have a comprehensive plan yet. It just finally getting ready to go pass through the planning commission to go to council for first, second, and third reading. So that's the, don't listen to that garbage because the plan has not yet been implemented yet. And I find that strange to do all of this, trying to get all these people coming in to the town, developing everything, but yet you don't have a comprehensive plan. But you're going to say, yes, we do. We have a comprehensive plan 10 years ago, and we're in the 11th year and still haven't improved the new comprehensive plan, but we got an 11-year-old comprehensive plan, 11-year-old audience plan that have nothing to do with going on in 2026 because everything had drastically changed from 2015 to 2026. And because you're going off old plans and old audience, and this is the truth of the matter, this is why developers can come in here so quickly, because you got to go off what already been adopted 11 years ago. This is why Lincolnville has been taken advantage of, and it's only because that you have lackadaisical, unconcerned leadership in position that refuse to come up with vision and plan and stay ahead of the 8 ball instead of be behind the 8 ball. So this is what's going on. We understand a strategic plan based on the needs of the people. And we say we can tackle, we talked about we are going to be carefully, intentional, progressively tackle these issues. We are going to address the issue of infrastructure both under and on top of the ground, which that means the water system, what that means the sewer line, what that means, what underneath the ground, all the stuff that underneath the ground that needs to be taken care of, the valves on the water ground, locating the valves. And you hear them talking about in the town meeting on every first Wednesday. I know me and the mayor putting our heads together. But they always talk, but they never come on a PowerPoint and say, here where the valves are, here's the streets that we gonna work from A to Z. They don't come up with a plan. They just do a whole lot of talking. They don't even put nothing on the website saying what they're going to do. They claim, the mayor claimed on November 12th, 2025, when he was running for the runoff of the mayor at Lincolnville, he got up on the video and said he got $1.5 million from the state revolving fund, saying that he's going to fix these issues on January 2026. Now we hear now in June 2026, and we still don't have a confirmation of when the work going to start, if there any money at all that he already gotten. So therefore the lie continue, and they want to call me a false prophet. So if the man in tune was a preacher, then he will be a false prophet because he has not done what he said he would do. So when you send a plan to help somebody, to help them not be a liar, then why would you not accept it? Okay, so we calling them out. We calling every last one of them out. Mayor Dickinson. We call her Tyrone Aiken. And I hold personally the debacle of not having a 10-year plan in place. I hold personally the debacle of not having a revision within the first 5 years of the last 10-year plan and the update to this current point of the 10-year plan. Now we stay tuned. I'm coming back on probably 8 o'clock tonight. I'm going to bring you the reason why there wasn't such a struggle with getting this comprehensive plan for, and I'm gonna bring receipts and compliments of the request from the Dickinson camp. So I must give them what they asked for. So therefore, we talked about all this issue that was concerning the town that the people wanted to be addressed. Again, this is Travis for the people. Our vision statement for the next 4 years could have been plan. We are going to implement plan, process, and procedures to make sure that our vision to build a safer, stronger, and more connected Lincolnville, improving public safety, expanding water infrastructure, creating vibrant public spaces, ensuring residents enjoy liable services, walkable streets, and transparent government. The people want to get sidewalks. They can't even jog in Lincolnville without getting hit. Then that's another problem that we having. We need to restore the annex station, the police station. We need live law enforcement in here 24/7 during the day. Lincolnville has been neglected from law enforcement present, and that's up on the council and the mayor job to make sure that happens day by day. They're flying up down Lincolnville Avenue. It's only because two reasons: because we don't have presence law enforcement, because they're the president of not a president of law enforcement, and all this development up on Lincolnville Avenue, Dunmire Hill Road, and people cutting through Dunmire Hill Road to Lincolnville Avenue, taking a shortcut because of the so much influx of people between North Charleston and Somerville have blew all the way up. It's a problem going to Somerville now between 3 and 7 o'clock because it's so congested, so much traffic. So therefore, this is the problem. But we need safety present. We need an annex station. We need infrastructure. That we need to get our infrastructure straight since we want to pushing all this development in here. But we don't want to get infrastructure straight and set up. But we want to use that development as an excuse to fix the infrastructure. No, you need to come up with a plan now post them coming in here. So therefore, then we can do what we need to do. Now it's on the council to approve the next development major project. But even if they don't approve it, I'm talking to the community, they can still go in to Dorchester or North Charleston, and we still be back with the same situation. And reason why they doing that because it's more easier to develop in Lincolnville because our audience is outdated. See, it's easier to get into Lincolnville because of that sole reason alone. But nevertheless, we got to understand that we got to continue to put pressure on the mayor and the council because they knows what's going on. They're supposed to know what's going on, put it that way. And they're supposed to be doing and looking out for the people. So this was the focus on communication and transparency. This was sent to them, community engagement and recreation. Third, public safety, streets, lighting, and sidewalks. Four, water system infrastructure expansion. These are major projects of water system infrastructure expansion are major projects. And reason why these things have not been done because you had people up on the council playing around, not being serious. And that includes Mayor Dixon, Tyrone Aiken, because I'm holding them responsible because both of them, Mayor Dixon is the mayor now. And when Tyrone Aiken was the mayor. Dickinson was on there. When Dewberry, he's not on the council, but he was on council when Tyrone Aiken was the mayor. So he knows how the process working should be done. But what has happened is that this is kind of strange dichotomy going on here. It's a strangeness of it. It does. It's a lot of oxymoron. It doesn't make sense. So when Aiken was on there, they fight Aiken. Dewberry on it, and they fight Dewberry. Now they all tired of fighting. Now they trying almost giving Dickinson everything what he want and what she shouldn't, because there's a whole major lot of error that happened since then. And it's going to be called out because it need to be called out. It need to be fixed. It need to be corrected, because if you don't fix it, then you have a mess going on. You have something going on down the road, and then it's going to be a problem. Then somebody else going to fix it, have to fix it. Then when somebody else go to fix it, now that person going to be the bad guy. It's because he's the bad guy because of what the administration refusing to uphold principles and values and honor their oath under the South Carolina Constitution. Okay, these are the things. The communication and transparency. The website is trash in my opinion because it don't be updated worth a dime. That web administrator need to get on their job. The mayor need to make sure they only put on something on there when it looks good for them. They don't put information on there consistently. You can't find nothing. It need to be upgraded. It need to be stayed on. You hire somebody, they need to do the job. And I want to see the qualification of that individual now, because right this side is ridiculous. We go to the website, which I'm going to post later, and we're going to go back to that website again and show people how ridiculous it is, how the lack of information, the lack of ZZ, and the unconcern of this administration and those that working in the administration don't want to keep the people informed. They like keeping people in darkness. And we know what the words say about them. The people love darkness because their deeds are evil. And they get mad when you call them out. But what's done in the dark will come to the light. Community engagement and recreation, now they've been doing a good job on that. We get ready to hand out our report card, our 6-month report card based on the mayor initiative on soon on next week. So stay tuned, because we're going to grade them again, and we're going to talk about it again until they get it right. And we're going to keep on moving. And through this little thing we sent to them, and we asking them to do what they need to do. And again, we say here's the transparency of this right here, showing forth the areas that needs to be worked on. These are the things that the people was concerned about: communication and transparency. That is the reason why you got that thing that say low priority. So that's something that could be fixed now. You can update the infrastructure. Now they say they got a roll call where alert. All you have to sign in the information in with your cell phone, and they can alert you to your cell phone. Well, you got many ways to do it. A lot of people sign up, including myself, because I'm there. I know what's going on. I'm aware of what's going on. So I'm still going to sign up when I go up there to sign up. But nevertheless, however, the communication should be, marketing should be going on all the time, letting the town people sign up, put it on the new billboard they got, put it in the water bill, send it out to the residents. There's so many ways that you could get on the Facebook and get on social media, talk about it, have a monthly update on the social media. Why? That's even much more important. Worry about somebody signing up on a cell phone. People usually is being contact to social media, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. You can go on Link. You can go on all these platforms and do a monthly update on what's going on in the town of Lincolnville, the residents of the town of Lincolnville, since you had created your own group on Facebook. So they say, since they created that. So therefore, go out there and do a monthly posting. Encourage people to be follow that page so they can keep up with information. You got to bring it up to the 21st century. I say community engagement. That's part of the community program, part and public partnership and developing public partnership. You could be developing a public partnership to develop the recreational infrastructure in town. We can be doing a lot of stuff other than renting it out. That scene, yes, they don't take it over. What happened when I was coming? They used to have the car shows out there. They used to have the softball game. They used to have all the stuff going on out there. Now it's dominated not by black people, but white people use it more so than us now. So therefore, it's a whole lot of engagement we need to go in this historical black town, so we say. Public safety, sidewalks, and lighting. If you ever ride down Lincolnville at night, it's dark. Why we can't get more lighting in Lincolnville? Why can't we lighten up down these streets and to deter people from doing criminal activity? Reason why stuff goes on because the lighting in Lincolnville is at a dismal. It ain't gonna add from a scale from 0 to 10. It probably is a 2, and I'm being generous. And the lighting need to be much better. Okay, that's what's neglect from the mayor and past mayor and council members walking around here and thinking we back in the same old Lincolnville in 19th century and the 20th century. We want to keep it just like it is. Hogwash. You got to upgrade. You got to make the community feel that they are safer. They can walk at night. They can do what they need to do. We need sidewalks. We need things around here to encourage safety, not disencourage safety, encourage safety. So the water system expansion, we know they fixed some of the issue that they had going on in February where the valve had bust wide open on Orange Street and they had to wait out for a couple of days. In January, the water system was shut down 4 or 5 times within a week. So therefore, we didn't hear too much about that issue, but it's not resolved, folks, because they still have not come forth with the 1.5 nor additional money to start developing and start redoing and renovating and updating our water infrastructure. And they have not yet come up with a plan. And now again, I'm going to call for the mayor and the council to develop an ad hoc committee for reconstructing and updating and upgrading the water system. You need to get the people in the community that are concerned about the issue and develop an ad hoc committee to design and plan, to get the plan presented to council, and then go from there and take identify monies, identify resources, identify community partners, identify other people that are willing to come in to help us complete the infrastructure of the water system in Lincolnville. It's ridiculous. They ain't doing nothing. And I'm calling for the mayor, since he had moved 4 of the 6 council members from off their committee assignment, then you need to move Leon Shannon. Why are you keeping him there? You need to move him because he's doing nothing. He doesn't know anything. All he just runs his mouth and know that he like to talk. And sometimes you got to shut him up because he just talk all over the thing, talk all over the world, and spewed a whole bunch of nonsense that doesn't make any sense. I'm calling for you to remove him since you said out of your own words that everybody's supposed to be reassigned every 2 years. So why haven't you reassigned him and his committee have most of the problems of anyone else? Sound like that's something fishy there. Okay, water expansion. We talked about that, and we're gonna keep going. This is the plan that we come forward. We are not gonna be on here too long, but year by year, the strategic plan. This is how you implement. Connect. The theme could have been in 2020. We could talk about communication, transit, connecting Lincolnville, connecting people to the website, connecting people to Lincolnville's social media, connecting them how by upgrading. We need to establish what the Department of Communication and Technology a newsletter, a text alert, a website, a town app, being a database for the residents for notification. We could have been doing what? We could have see if we could look into hiring a director of communication and technology to help with design the town website, to launch the Lincolnville alert system, implement digital public records portable. Man, there's a lot that we can be doing. Measure outcome. 80% of the household receiving update. 3 digital communication channel active. Lincoln will become digitally connected, transparent, and informed. Why? This is something easy to be done, with the exception of probably putting the director there. And yes, that probably can done instead of you try to push through a salary for yourself. Maybe you should have pushed through developing a director of a communication technology, someone to come in and run that department to make sure that the communication and everything that concerning the town, that the town can be informed. But yet we got a lot of talking, but no action. But yet when the time for you want salary increase, in which you done had 2 salary increase since you was in office, and you're looking for a third one to bring you up from 27,000 to 54,000 for a town of resident right under $1,200. That is 1,200 residents, a town of Lincolnville under 1,200 residents, and you want a $54,000 salary as mayor, and then you have the audacity to say you are not here for money, and you done had 2 increases of salary, and then all of this being neglected. It's a prime shame. All of this being neglected. Let's move on. Then engage and energize the community and recreation. Now I can say this is where he got an A+. He brought back Mayfest. He do a lot of community engagement, fire the recreation down. Councilman Weldon, who's been a part on the recreation committee, is not a department. They not in the day-to-day operation, and that just cringe me when you got they up there saying the recreation department. No, they're not hired. They can't be hired because they're elected official. Councilman Weldon is an elected official of for the town of Lincolnville. And I hope no one getting paid up there other than the stipend that they give them. I think they went up to $500 a month. So the stipend that they give them on a monthly basis, that's to help them come to meetings or whatever. That's the only money they should be giving, and that's just a stipend for them to come to do their job. And there are some towns of the same size of Lincolnville where the councilman is not getting paid. I have found out in research the town of Lincolnville that some the mayor, the size of the mayor, some towns are bigger than the mayor, bigger than this size town, and not even half getting paid half the mayor getting. So I don't want to hear this foolishness that he ain't getting paid. Got somebody on social media talk about nonsense. Were you supposed to work on a McDonald's salary? First of all, you get in public service to serve the people. You don't get in public service to enrich yourself. And that's why we got a problem going on with our electoral system and our current representatives and senators and so forth down the line, that people want to get in these positions to enrich themselves. And the position was made, it was for the sole point of serving the public. So the recreation department, you need a recreation department. We need a stable recreational department, not a committee. That's why a lot of stuff ain't going on. Because you got people volunteer. But if you have a recreation department that they conduct a walkability plan for the Dunmire Hill Road to Lincolnville. They can partnership with schools, churches, and foundations. They can start to identify areas in Lincolnville according to the connectivity plan, according to the capital improvement plan, where areas in Lincolnville that Lincolnville own that we can develop a recreational center for things that we can put in there for our seniors, for our youth, and all this stuff. We can might put a pool in there or something like that. Have all kind of things. You can do a lot of stuff if you hire a recreation director, along with an assistant to that director. You can launch program for you, the seniors, the families. You can do a walkability study. You can apply recreation to infrastructure grant, like through Dominion Energy, NRPA, Healthy Harbors. You got a whole lot of things out there that you can do if people were serious up there on that town of Lincolnville, along with the mayor. If you were serious about getting stuff done, steady putting up eye candy down Lincolnville Avenue and plots and all this kind of stuff that really it have no significance other than this memorizing people that was here, and which there's nothing wrong with that. However, when you have greater problems and issues that needs to be resolved, then you want to do eye candy stuff to throw out a distraction to say this is what we're doing. As we move forward, then the third thing, street safety and streets lighting public. This should be a big one. Now, when I ran for mayor, not right as a write-in candidate, only because the community, 25 people of the community thought I would be a good mayor for the town. However, they wrote me in. People say, "Oh, he just tried to run. He just wanted to run and be. He mad because he didn't win." Man, hogwash. The thing of the matter, I'm glad I run because it exposed a whole lot of stuff. And if it didn't run, the mayor that we had probably wouldn't be there because his ceiling of his voter was at right at 120. So if I got 25 out of the other guy, they probably would have been almost a tie. Then it was a runoff anyway, and then he still got up at the hundred and something mark, and the other guy did only because the other guy, no one too much cared for him. That was the issue. So it was less of two evils. I'm gonna stick with the one I know. You know the old saying, the devil that I know is better than the devil I don't know. So here's the plan. We talking about here safety in Lincolnville. You could have been start launching this within the process. There's some things that you can take for each year of this plan and stick them in this year and do one thing at a time. Get the street committee, street and drainage, which is Tyrone Aiken on there. He should be talking about these issues. He should be talking about implementing sidewalks and finding ways to get start doing it done My Hill Road and etc. We had a connectivity plan. We had a capital improvement plan talking about ideas that we can do in the future. Some of the residents came out there. You need to get like residents. You have to get involved. Act for that capital improvement plan, act for that connectivity plan, and then you will find more out when we once we push through this capital, once we push through this comprehensive plan, once we push through the comprehensive plan and it goes to council for first, second, and third reading, you need to participate and understand what's going on. Because when you do not show up, people up there think that they're in control, so they gotta be in control because no one holding them accountable. So again, these are the things that we can be doing. I objected to widen the lighting and sidewalk project. We could construct sidewalk from Dunbar Hill Road to Lincolnville Avenue. That would be a nice little walking trail from Barn Ocean, Dunbar Hill Road, all the way down to Lincolnville Avenue and connect Lincolnville Avenue back into the town of Lincolnville. Once their sidewalks have started, then they start. Again, again, we're not good at finishing. We good at starting, but we need to finish. Then we need more lighting, public safety. We need to hire a director of public safety. We need to have somebody that's going to be in this town. We need to connect with the sheriff department and bring the annex police station back. Why did they ever put it out of here? That don't make any sense. And you know the town is growing, and people around the town is growing. The town around the town is growing. Somerville growing. North Charles is growing. All this development. You know you need more presence of public safety, and we need to have a part-time judge in the town. We can't even adjudicate nobody. They passing out all these fines around here for code enforcement and all that. You can't enforce that when you ain't got no judge. I wouldn't pay nothing out. The citizens shouldn't be paying it because number one, let's talk about that. Number one, you shouldn't break the rules, and if you don't know what the rules are, then you don't know. So that you can't break something that you don't know. But nevertheless, it should be an education going on from the code enforcement department, from the zoning department, and educating them about the rules. That's something that you can have a monthly broadcast on social media to understand what are the audience are in the town. What shall I do and what shall I can't do? That would be something good. And they got a excellent guy in there by Mr. Mark Bain Jr., who is the zoning administrator slash code enforcer, and his primary hiring job is the code enforcer, unless they had changed something over for him to be the zoning administrator. But he's right now holding two hats. But nevertheless, he would be an excellent guy because he's very articulate, very knowledgeable about code enforcement, about laws and stuff. That would be a great thing for him to do a monthly social media announcement going forth out the town of resident, letting them know what are the audience are, and explain to them why the audience and how is important and how to apply it and why it's so important to abide by these things. That's a good idea. Wow, wow, Travis, that sounds wonderful. Engineer assessment of sidewalk. You should get a plan, even if you don't do nothing with it. Now we have a plan in place. Now we not have an assessment going and knowing what it's going to take. There's funding for that. There's funding from Dominion Energy. They're funding from South Carolina DOT. They're funding for real involvement. RA, public donors. The sidewalks construction. You can install the lighting in the town, steady the lighting down Lincolnville. You can have them same lighting up and down um, West Pine, down Broad Street, down Pickens Street, and you could down Randolph Street. I mean, you can light it all up. Gohagen, you can light it all up. Down Dunmire Hill Road. I mean, all the streets in between. We should brighten up Lincolnville. Every time people go through Lakeville, they ought to say this is bright and early. While the safe streets, lighted and public safety, we should have measured by outcome 2 miles of sidewalks completed. 10, 100 plus LED lights installed. Public safety department staff and operational. Police presence, annexation active. Multiple court held months. That should be some goal that we should be trying to do. But this is the plan that I sent for. But yet it's talk about you bad because they didn't implement your plan. Fool, this is the plan to help the town. This isn't a plan about me. It's a plan to help the town. At least you have something to go for. And then if people on the council didn't want to give it, I'll call them out every time. Because this is something that's going to help the town. And now here we go with the main problem. The water, modernize and expand the water system. That water department. I'm going to have to bring again another presentation about the water department and how the water department individual needs to be certified about what they are supposed to be doing. Not somebody on council who think he been over a department so many times and go to meeting, come back with no clear report. He only talk about stuff that he think he heard. not what he know he heard. No report, no articulation, no presentation or whatsoever. No information that goes out on the website to explain about what how functional and how supposed the functionality of the water department should be. Yes, we are calling out because I am tired of listening to people at the first of the month with their ignorance about what's going on. And now all the time, and right now, it's not even ignorance. I think it's borderline stupidity because this is a shame that people ought to know when the water should be tested, how often the water should be tested during a month, from 6 months from now to a year, man. The report should be stick up on the website. You got to report about the testing of the water when a water vial bust. That's something that happened every since last year. They don't even got the one up there from February, the one up there from January, the one up there, the one that's supposed to happen during the summer, and all from the summer all to the present point. They have not followed through on their job, and he's going to be boasting that we in the mayor putting our head together and we are coming up with plans. You can't even do the intermediate stuff first, the little basic stuff by just posting report. After 24 hours of water go down, you must test that water again, go into a boil risery thing. It got to be tested because we don't know what got into the water system, but we do know, according to periodical evidence, not based on a medical report by a resident who said they were sick, and you have somebody from the Dickerson camp with the audacity, can we see your medical report? That's a HIPAA violation. That's her business. But I know for a fact, not only I have phone calls that some people did got sick, not just that resident. They ought to be lucky. They ought to be counting their lucky stars that they didn't slap the town with a lawsuit. That's why you ought to fix this stuff. This is why you should want to improve the water system. This is why we should get a functional department. This is why we should get a plan and then tell the people, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're trying to do. This is the funds that we're trying to go after. Here's an objective. You can construct a water tower. If you can do that or not, then find out whether you can do it or not. Replace all the old water valves and meters. Yes, that's something we can do. Yes, they're supposed to have upgrade meter system where they can stand down the street and they can go ahead and check your water meter by via of technology now. Okay, but if you're under the old meters, they gotta manually go and check them, and they can do the new water meters because of Wi-Fi. So to implement the water monitoring and leak detection system, I don't know whether we have a water monitoring leak detection or not. That's something that can be what? Explored. Develop a long-term maintenance funding plan. Well, yes, water system does break down from time to time and from years and years. You should be developing that type of funding, building it up. Key action, engineering, design, and environmental review. That could be done Q1 2029. That could be done by then. Okay, secure the USDA, uh, United States Small Department of Agriculture, USD RD Rural Development, RI, DWSR Fund. Look at all of this money out there. Bring the water tower, or bring tower construction, complete water system, whatever. You would take it in time, do everything in each quarter. And whoever comes behind the mayor should make sure this is being done. Measurable outcomes, 100 valve replacement complete. New water tower operation, 40% improvement in water pressure and reliability. these things that can be done. I don't can't believe in nobody talking about, oh, you can't do this, we can't do this and that there, because you ain't looking into what you can do. Where the plan where it say you can't. Where the update, where the report that say we can't do this. Tie the hand where we can't do, but you ain't got no plans or no periodical evidence to produce what you say you can't do. And here we producing what we can do, but you saying what you can't do without no evidence, and we saying what you can do with evidence. Now, which one is more likable to be believed? Okay, partnership for implementation. You can partnership with Dominion Lighting for lighting installation maintenance. You can partnership with South Carolina DOT for sidewalk matching fund road permits. North Townsend South Sheriff Department, Annex Police Station, law enforcement covenant, local business adopt a light sponsorship, volunteer support. I mean, you could do a whole lot of stuff. Private donors and founded grants for recreation, streets and lighting, USDA rural development, RIA, DWSRA water infrastructure. But look at all of this money out here. What's happening in Lincolnville? This is the plan I sent the council. And we need to hold the council accountable for for doing what they say they're gonna do. And if they can't do it, we need to start voting them out starting next year, because that's when 3 of the seats are open up next year. 3 of the seats is Leon Shannon, David Nesbitt, and Tyrone Aiken. They are up in 2027. And in 2029, the next council seat is up. And that when the mayor election is also as well is Dyson, Weldon, Emmanuel Prince, and the mayor. So therefore, we need to get involved. We need more young people to get involved with the political system of Lincolnville and be a part of what's going on. Now stay tuned, because I got to run the blitz for the next couple of days to bring you up to date on some of the issues and some of the concerns and make you more aware of what's going on. We'll be back. Stay tuned at 8 o'clock p.m. We will be back with another version of what happened in Lincolnville. Travis for the people. Again, we are here for real change, real solution, and real result. And by the way, early voting is still going on. Please go out and vote. Make your voice be known. Your vote is your voice, and we can change the dynamics in this state and this country if we get out and vote. The Alpha Phi Alpha slogan says, a voteless people is a hopeless people, and we must vote. Move the nonsense, move the myth about my vote don't count. That is that hogwash. They like you saying that. They want you to believe that. They want you to feel that. They want you to think that. They want you to smell that. They want you to act that way, so you don't even go to the poll. But go to the poll. It's important. This is the democracy, that's how you hold it together, by voting. And you see, they trying to take it away. And because they're trying to take it away, because they're counting on the same one that over and within the black community that I'm talking to right now. They over 900,000 people are registered to vote in South Carolina. In the last election, only 400 and something thousand voted. We can make a difference. I think that number is larger than that. If all the million something African Americans just alone voted, and The Hispanic, there's number on the Hispanics, there's number on the Asian who registered to vote did not vote it. And the white folks need to get out there and vote. Most of them largely vote in South Carolina. But there's a lot of them that don't vote either. So it ain't just in the black community, it's in the white community, the black community, the Asian community, Hispanic community, the Native American community, wherever other community that you represent. There's a whole lot of people that just don't want to vote because they feel that the public service is such a dismal and a disgrace that they're going to do what they want to do. And reason why they do what they want to do, because we do not vote. Again, stay tuned because we running the blitz starting today, this evening, tomorrow, and we got to get this information out here. Travis for the people. Real change, real solution, and real result. Take care.